getting them the win at Fusion last week over both Jackal and Delta Force. Let's see if it can be a repeat for performance.
I mean, we'll definitely see as we get into it right here. But starting off with another Wario. Looks like that's going to be the character we're seeing. And honestly, I don't think that's a bad play at all. Wario, I mean, he can struggle kind of against swordies, but he also does pretty well. Again, you know, talking about his horizontal movement in the air, like he can definitely break that zone that swordies love to put out there. But for sure, Hero is built a little bit different.
And built a little bit more passive, to say the least. So with things like that Jab 1 and Vivi starting to take advantage of the defensive strengths that Hero has to offer. The Jab 1 as a means of anti-air, things like forward tilt to power through aggressive options, finding grabs and just flashing menu to see what they're looking for. Accelerado, namely the one to take advantage of, because it puts you in contest with Wario's airspeed, but you have a sword.
Yeah, I mean, it only lasts for so long, though, so. But here comes the zoom. All right, definitely tried to call it out, but went to the other side of the stage, and man, he's been hitting these chomps really consistently. And that's not going to take the stock quite yet. He's going to find his way back to the stage, actually, with that free zoom. I think it's like, what, 10 mana? That's all it takes?
Yeah, I think it's 10 or 11, and a higher chance to pull up when you're in the bubble like that. So all Vivi took was one pull of the menu to find what they needed. Getting a couple of these projectiles out here. Psych Up Online means you have to look out for exactly that. Like, a lot of times people are afraid of the Psych Up up throw because it is extremely strong, but the Psych Up up tilt is even more so because it functions like an amazingly huge anti-air that kills at just these percents. No Psych Up here though, but you have that Accelerado, and any buff is a good buff for Hero. You transform the character from a slow swordy to a mobile threat.
Yep, no, definitely a big factor there. And I mean, like, his movement's not bad either, like, even without it. Like, he's not super fast, he's not anything super crazy, but like, it definitely does help a little bit. But we do see that full waft come into play here. And I mean, this early in the game too, this definitely works in Wario's favor. Now, obviously, same thing like we talked about with BD Bean. He's gonna be looking to close out the stock, not gonna get it right there. The dash attack, just a little too far to the left side of the screen when you're sending him the other way.
Oh, this is a max rage psych. Oh, they were looking for it. They were looking to close out that stock immediately. Instead, they find their way back to the stage. This chomp should do it at 180, and now we're back into center, just immediately dropping down with the kaboom, though. I like that from Vivi a lot. Just, you have the chance to pull a free menu, see what it has, and see if you can catch Haven off guard. And it works like at least an immediate charm. Didn't work immediately, but it does put a lot of threat for Haven at these high percents.
Now, things is good, a little bit dicey here, right? I mean, we see that Vivi's trying to find a hit, potentially just trying to get one of those spells to pop off. Ooh, misses the grab. That actually could be super huge for Haven moving forward here. Oh, if he was ready for that platform land, that could have potentially been a stock for him. Oh, still living. All right, great DI.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Zap will do it, and trying to get the extension on the bike. Unable to find any openings at this one. A 172 Wario with Waft here. This could immediately transform the game if he's able to land it, and there it is! But getting the upwards hitbox instead, not the right one. That like turns so much, that potentially can take out a ton of wind out of Haven's sails if they aren't able to capitalize on the amount of damage that Waft did.
I mean, it's still a second stock game here. It's not looking too bad. Oh, that was, I think he might have tried to air dodge. I'm not sure. He just kind of blew up immediately. But we do have a last stock scenario here. Even game across the board. Neither player with a huge advantage. I mean, we'll just have to see how it plays out. I mean, these guys have been battling back and forth. No one's taken a real huge lead yet. So we'll see what happens.
While you may have lost your X Factor, you don't lose those combos, and this bounce isn't going to help any bit of the smothering that Haven had put on just for a little bit there. But Kaboom and Oomph on deck means that you can make up this damage real quickly. I like that movement there, but even better challenge from Haven. Trying to get a mix-up into a grab was Vivi, but Haven not allowing that, just constantly throwing out a lot of these rolls and a lot of forward airs and chomps in order to consistently keep Vivi in a retreating game state, which is so imperative against, since Hero, while movement is fine, it's not exactly the quickest, especially when compared to Wario's airspeed. Another grab,
I mean, right now, though, the half waft should be coming up if it's not already online here. Is this belly button poking? I think that's usually the thing. If you see the belly button poking out, and, like, you know that he's got waft on deck, so this actually is looking a little bit scary here. I mean, they've been doing a good job just kind of battling back and forth. Ooh, he had a read. He just went the wrong way. Ugh.
Such a shame. Just a slight misspacing. A couple bad breaks for, oh man, a couple bad breaks for Haven. Misreads, misspacings turned into such a good feint from Vivi. Does a nice little empty full hop to try and threaten a big forward air or a landing up tilt on that platform, covering all this space, and just gets the psych up throw on the platform to kill even earlier than it already would have.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just putting that pressure down. You knew we kind of had him trapped there, right? Because you've got that big buff right there. Every time you jump up, he's holding shield. You know, he put it out there a couple times, and then he made his play. He made his call, just went right up there. Because, again, Hero doesn't have terrible movement speed. Got that grab, toss him right to the top blast zone. I mean, that's just good pressure and recognizing what you're able to get away with as you're kind of, you know, forcing your opponent into these certain habits. So that was just great recognition from Vivi. And as we get to this game two, we'll see if Haven can find a way to, you know, get this spark going a little bit brighter. I mean, he honestly didn't play that game bad.
No, not at all.
He just kind of got caught in a couple weird scenarios, and obviously at the end, that was just a tough call. I don't blame him.
Yeah, it's hard to always contest a lot of Hero's empty movement when you're so ready to parry his rather slow aerials or turn them around into something like that. You can see the reason Small Battlefield is the pick, because you're allowed more access to these platforms thanks to the platforms being wider and the stage being shorter. And Wario loves that utilization for extensions and for setups, but great tech from Haven keeps them alive after going a little bit too ham off stage.
Yeah, and on top of the platforms, they are actually just a little bit closer due to the fact that they're wider too. So it does make a little bit of a difference in some scenarios. So it's definitely a huge play. I mean, it's literally small PS2. I'll always say, I'll never stop. But yeah, I mean, we've already seen his combo game just kind of getting started here. Now it's just about closing this one out, and that down air is definitely going to do it. Great play from Haven so far. And yeah, so far the small PS2 definitely working out for him.
It's looking like it's the place to be if they have a choice, as that's for sure. Oh, Psych Up and Oomph on deck. You can no longer shield. You can't jump either because that up tilt is waiting for you. And that's what I feel like Vivi is so good at doing. Like, throughout their game plan, it is imperative that they condition jump in order to more often land these big buffed up tilts that are so good at closing out stocks when you have even just an Oomph online. And it transforms Hero into such a different character when they can reliably land a killing anti-air.
Right.
Look at it. Up tilt's crazy.
Up tilt is crazy, yeah. But right now, it's just about trying to push this lead further into his favor. And there we go. Okay, got a couple of Accelerato hits right there. Definitely, I think, was thinking about going out for another one, but didn't want to overextend too much, especially because that'd be your second jump at that point. And, like, you don't want to deal with any sort of counterattack that puts you in a terrible position. But, ooh, barely missing out on that back air.
Yeah. Forward air might have been the true hit, but they were looking for back air to close out the stock, and you don't need to close out the stock when you got the whack online. Getting that massive, I think that was definitely in favor of Vivi to close out the stock than not, but either way, it can leave a little bit of a salty taste in your mouth.
All right, what's the play here? Yep, going for another one of those. Honestly, just great reactionary play, just recognizing he was going to be going for a lower recovery. Now it's just about getting that stock out of the way. He's going to zoom out here. It's always hard, like, to kind of make those calls. And, like, sometimes you get lucky. Just Haven just hasn't really gotten that luck on his side quite yet. Yeah,
it feels like Vivi has always found the zoom when they needed to, even when they're not in the bubble. But forcing another low recovery didn't in that case and was able to stuff it out with yet another down air. Such a marvelous tool at closing out low recoveries like that, especially when they have no hitbox. Like Heroes when rising. So Psych Up online, Psych Up and Accelerato. Can we get the one more? Oh, okay. That cheeky back air was so good to catch the drift in from Haven. Mixing up on these platforms thanks to just how fast Hero can be.
And also,
okay.
Ooh, that's the best move in the game.
It's pretty good.
That move is messed up. So, to kind of quickly touch about the zoom, it's not necessarily within the bubble. It's because I thought it was just off stage. It's actually within 40 units of the blast zone.
Oh,
so,
of course.
But there are two-time odds of zoom appearing in the command selection. So,
right.
it definitely helps out being closer to the blast zone, but you don't have to be in the bubble.
Right, because that's not
either
40
way,
units.
Yeah, you're close to dying at that point. Definitely helps. I mean, be as close as you can without losing the stock. But either way, fantastic stuff from Vivi. Honestly, just a strong. Oh wait, did Vivi win that or did Haven win that?
Vivi won that.
Okay, they put 2-0 Haven.
SMH production.
Oh my god. Either way, so Vivi going to be moving on to winners finals, where we will see them take on Jackal. That'll be a pretty solid matchup.
Run back from last week.
I assume we're going to continue to see Hero here, but Vivi also has a Lucario, right?
So Vivi had a Lucario past tense. They have finally, after years and years of struggling with the character from all the way from Smash 4, where Lucario was actually like extremely good, like a high tier. They finally dropped Lucario in favor of Terry, and that is who they will probably be going for in the Jackal matchup. Whether Jackal decides to go Joker or Wolf, the Terry is probably going to be the character of choice. And Vivi's Terry is not bad. It can just be a little bit. It can be a little bit too focused on making the reads for the finisher instead of always just playing that grounded neutral that looks so good when you see players like Riddles play. They like constantly dash back and forth, short hop up airs, like all of that good stuff. And that then lead into the rising tackles or the Buster Wolves or what have you. Power duns.
Right.
I think we're going to losers first.